how did you decide to get involved in what's your story of why you got in the trenches here and decided to like sort of take it upon yourself to be involved in this legislation?
Well, it is a little bit of a personal motivation of mine. I think maybe a little over a year ago, I decided that I wanted to get a little bit more involved in policy in Colorado. And that started initially with an electric vehicle charging bill that some Denver Tesla Club owners found sponsors for, wrote the bill. We did the whole bit, and so it was very much a
What was
team
that bill
effort.
about again?
That,
Not
that
letting people block charging stalls, right?
that's correct. Yeah. So you hear about the term icing. Um, this is a law that makes it now a ticketable offense to block an electric vehicle charging spot, whether you're an EV or not. If you're parked in an EV charging spot, you have to be plugged in and charging. So now there's a law that helps encourage people not to park in those spots. So that's sort of where it started. And then I had heard last legislative session in 2019, I heard that Rivian introduced a bill that failed to allow them to sell direct. And so I only heard about it after it failed. And so I reached out to Rivian and I said, hey, we've got a lot of enthusiastic electric vehicle owners, a part of the Denver Tesla Club, and they would love to help you next time you do this. So we had some conversations over the last, I don't know, 6 to 9 months, and it was all sort of ramping up to this legislative session in 2020, and it's gone surprisingly well. And as I said before, not without some fireworks and not without some pushback from the Auto Dealer Association, and rightly so. I mean, I understand that they want to protect their business model, but what they've said often is that their manufacturers cannot serve the customer as good as dealerships can. And they'll use examples like how Ford back in the 90s tried to sell direct to consumer. I think it was in Oklahoma and Texas, and failed. They eventually pulled out. They'll use examples of how Tesla customers are having trouble getting in touch with service centers, and how owners in long distance places or rural areas have to drive really far to get to service centers because it's not as dense. So, but the thing is, maybe some of those things are true, maybe some of them are not. But if their dealership model is so fantastic, then why are they fighting so hard to keep manufacturers from competing with them?
Right, and that's the irony. It's like it's consumer choice. Like even if what you're saying is true, it's how do you not let consumers get that freedom of choice?